It sounds like your everyday normality is can be quite different to maybe society's normality. How would you say your decisions are influenced by society's barriers? For example, accessibility restrictions.
So how would my decisions be 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 impaired by society's barriers? Yeah, there's all sorts, and the difficult thing for me is because I've been born with this disability, and because I've learned to cope with the issues, the barriers don't become barriers anymore. What they become is little steps. Do you know what I mean? So oh, it's another little step to get across. But for a lot of people that haven't been born with with the disability or eyesight problems or anything like that, then it becomes a massive barrier. Everything for me is a challenge, and a challenge is there to be confronted and to find a solution for. But, and here's the but, sometimes the challenge is so big for somebody that they can't overcome that challenge on their own, and it becomes a barrier that stops you being the best person that you can be. Now, I've had quite a bit of experience of barriers, and I've got a couple of barriers in my life at the moment, for instance, and they're being made easier with technology. But the biggest barrier for me is actually, when you're at work, somebody hands you something which is, I don't know, a 4-page document or a 5-page document, and they say, read that, you've got a meeting in half an hour, go and discuss it in the meeting. That 5-page document that would take somebody else probably half an hour to read, whatever it is, that would take me probably about a day. And it's not because I can't read, it's because I have to use a magnifying glass and I have to enlarge everything to actually read it. Now, that was before the invention of scanners and enlargement software for my laptop and all that sort of stuff. Now what I can do is use my phone to scan a page in. I can enlarge that page on my computer and I can read it on my computer now, which is now, again, for me, there's the barrier has been taken away or reduced, because it still takes me ages to read it, but it's been reduced, and I've found a way to overcome that. Now, there are certain things in life that there is no way that I'm going to be overcome, barriers that I'm no way going to be able to overcome. For instance, if I had an opportunity to get a job in the middle of nowhere that had no bus routes and no train routes and stuff like that, that a standard person that could drive would be able to get to with no problems at all, I wouldn't be able to do it. But again, there are places where we can go to help with that, which is called access to work and stuff like that, where you can go and, you can ask for assistance. They don't have to give it you, but you can ask for assistance. But again, that's a hoop I need to jump through to get to the normal, or the other, the person that can drive's normal. And I've accepted that. But then the other thing as well, for instance, walking around in the dark, just something as simple as walking around in the dark, I can't do. It's like bright sunshine, really dark, I can't do it at all. I am more or less blind in the dark. So for instance, if I finished work in the dark and I had to get the bus home, or I had to go and find a taxi that was picking me up from work, I couldn't do it. I have to ring the taxi to actually say, right, I'm stood here, come and get me. Or I have to ask somebody to actually take me to the bus stop to get me on the bus, and somebody to meet me at the other end, okay, so that I can safely walk to my house. Some people might be saying, well, why don't you get a guide dog or a white stick? It's because I'm partially sighted and I can see in most weather, but not in all weather. Okay, so I don't qualify for a guide dog. And if I'm being absolutely honest, I don't really want a white stick.